high-tech compressor. Look at this one. Oh my god. Not supposed to be like that. It's stuck. The wheel came loose again, but the piston is still stuck. I can barely press the spring. It's a dirty job. After a bit of soaking, I just put it in the vise and pressed it in, and it went in deeper. And then I just put two screwdrivers on the side so I could lift it up underneath here. And now I got it up. I hope I can get the pin out of there now and remove the piston. As you can see, I got it compressed in the vise again. And like this, the pin should be clear to remove. Don't lose these are important. Piston is still stuck. Piston is still in there. I wasn't yet able to take it out. Put the pin back in there and then I pushed it down again and took the screwdrivers on the side again to push it back up again. Did it a bunch of times and now I can move it like this. Took the pin back out. So now hopefully I wasn't able to get it higher than this, so hopefully now, yes, there it goes. We'll see what the damage is. I got it out. The piston ring is completely seized in there. Will I get it loose? Where's the opening? Can't even find the opening. There's a lot of crap in here. I wonder if the valve, no, the valve is still moving. There's a valve underneath, under there. This is the plate on the bottom. Has to properly shut or it won't work. So there's a lot of cleaning to be done. Now I am being very careful. But right here, if you can focus, can you focus? Here's the opening. I'm carefully prying a bit, and I'm getting it loose. After a bit of playing around, I got it to come loose. You have to be very careful doing this, because you will break it if you're too aggressive. So now I'm going to remove everything, clean everything properly, and then reassemble it. After cleaning a bit, yeah, I cannot get it to seal. The valve keeps leaking. I can show you, I think. That is a very, very bad leak. I already tried cleaning it up with some sandpaper and stuff, but it keeps leaking. Don't think it's fixable. Welcome back. Some people were commenting that it was running rough. Well, let's see if we can do something about it. One component of this engine is a compressor, which is only found on this engine. There's no other engine that has this. Only comes with the direct injection engine. Basically the way this works is this spring is pressing against this piece of plastic. This plastic is holding this pin. This pin is going through this piston underneath here. There's a piston under here. And in the center is this wheel. This wheel is resting on the crankshaft. So when the engine rotates, this is on the back side of the engine. It's on the back side of the engine like this. When it rotates, this is pressed in with every rotation. And what happens is this piston is compressed. There are holes in the side. It's hard to see. There are holes in the side over there. That's the air inlet. When the air goes in there, the piston compresses the air, and there's another valve underneath here, which lets the air go through here. There's another spring underneath the valve, which keeps the valve shut. It's also important that it stays shut. This is a very, very finicky part of the engine. Very, very common to fail. So this is the one that was completely seized, and I think it's leaking inside. This valve that is in here, I showed it, it was leaking. I have more of them. The two that are in here, they were leaking before as well, so I'm not thinking that they are good. This thing I don't think is good. I have one over here, I haven't tested it before. I have no idea if it's good. But I have even more. There's another one over here, I'm not sure. I probably tested it before, I don't remember if it's good. And I have a meter. The air pressure of the compressor should be between 4 and 7 bars, according to the workshop manual. So every time I test this, I put this on the compressor. I crank the engine over until it's between this area, and if you have a bad compressor, it won't even reach it, so that's another indication. But I'll let the pressure stay there for a while, preferably just wait 24 hours to see, and come back next day to see if it's still there. But when it's over there between the 4 and 7 bars, it should be good to go. Just so you know where this part is on the engine, it's on the back side, and obviously it's dark, so let's see. So this is the back side of the engine. I removed the air filter and the mud guard, but there it is, as you can see. It's at the back side of the engine, it sits on top of the crankshaft, and it's just holding with 4 bolts, and it got the air pressure line on there. And as you can tell, this one is on a running bike, but you can see over there that there is a bunch of wet stuff. Seems like it has been leaking. Could be another issue why this bike is not running perfect. It starts up okay, it idles reasonably, it doesn't stall or anything, but the behavior is specific. I have to explain it. To me it is like this. Whenever you let go of the throttle on a direct injection engine like this, there's no, the computer tells the injector not to open as much, I think. I'm just guessing, because you don't tell it to put in gas when you let go of the throttle. So I think what happens sometimes, the air pressure is too low on the air reel, and when you are driving like 45 miles an hour or something, whatever, and you let go of the throttle, the air pressure increases again, and then it seems like the air pressure is better. But yeah, the behavior it has, that this scooter, it runs fine, kinda, but you cannot put it in full throttle. It starts stuttering at full throttle, and it normally runs up to 80 on the dash. It shows 80 on the dash. It's really 65 on GPS, but whatever. And sometimes it instantly loses power. That's also what happens. So that's a whole lot of talking. Now let's just remove this piece and maybe test it first, check and see what this delivers when it comes to the pressure. Removing air hose is very simple. Just loosen the hose clamp. I wish I filmed this, because when I loosened it, you cannot hear it anymore. When I loosened it up, the air pressure escaped. You could hear it, which is a good sign, because it says the air pressure is holding. I put the throttle position sensor butterfly valve. I took it off the intake, so more room to work. But this is still the compressor that was on there. I put another hose on there with the meter. Let's check it out. Well, this is not working with this meter. It's not holding the pressure. I'm quite sure this compressor is holding the pressure, so that's not the issue. But this hose is very old. I'm not having a clamp on there, but I'm going to mess around with that later. I'm just going to slap the other compressor in there and see if it starts up. You really do not want to strip those bolts. I removed the part. It's reasonably clean looking, but there is quite a bit of play on the wheel. And here you can see where the wheel sits on the crankshaft. It leaves like a mark where it runs on the crankshaft. That's always the way it looks. It's quite normal. But what you see over there, this is where it sits on the crankshaft, and when it rotates, this circle is not at the same place as the whole axle, so it pushes up and down. It's always pressurized on the crankshaft. It's maybe a bit hard to tell, but there's still a bit of gap on there. I put another compressor on there. You can maybe see that I still have to tighten it. It's kind of pushing off now. So it's back on there, or at least the other one is on there. The known good one is over here. So let's see. Never hurts to put a charger on your battery, because starting it a lot will drain it. This is still the known working one. There's too much play on this wheel, I think. But still, this is the known working one. But I just fitted another one. And it's very dirty. It looks very dirty. But it's able to build up pressure. So I'm not sure if it will stay, but it seems to be good. Well, let's see if this one works. seems to run. You can see, you could see how it started up. That was when there was no air pressure in the system at all. I don't see a big difference with the other compressor that I have over here, but as you can see, it still runs. It won't stall, but this is how it sounds. As you can tell, it still stutters a bit, crackles a bit. Maybe next time I will try another exhaust.